Many chemical compounds are composed of molecules. A molecule is a neutral group of atoms that are held together by covalent bonds. A chemical compound whose simplest units are molecules is called a molecular compound. A chemical formula gives the composition of a compound. A chemical formula indicates the relative numbers of atoms of each kind in a chemical compound by using atomic symbols and numerical subscripts. A chemical formula for a molecular compound is called a molecular formula. A molecular formula shows the types and numbers of atoms combined in a single molecule of a molecular compound. The molecular formula for a water molecule is 2 hydrogen atoms and 1 oxygen atom. Covalent bonds form from shared electrons. Bond lengths and energy vary from molecule to molecule. Bond length is the average distance between 2 bonded atoms. The bond length of a hydrogen-hydrogen bond is 75 pm. Hydrogen atoms release energy as they change from isolated individual atoms to parts of a molecule. Similarly, energy must be added to separate the bonded atoms. Bond energy is the energy required to break a chemical bond and form neutral isolated atoms. Bond energies are usually reported in kilojoules per mole. This indicates the energy required to break 1 mole of bonds and isolated molecules. Atoms tend to form bonds to follow the octet rule. The octet rule states that chemical compounds tend to form so that each atom, by gaining, losing, or sharing electrons, has an octet of electrons in its highest occupied energy level. Expanded valence occurs when other elements are surrounded by more than 80 electrons when combining with the highly electronegative elements fluorine, oxygen, and chlorine. Dots placed around an element's symbol can represent valency electrons. Electron dot notation is an electron configuration notation in which only the valency electrons of an atom of a particular element are shown, indicated by dots placed around the element's symbol. An unshared pair, or a lone pair, is a pair of electrons that is not involved in bonding and that belongs exclusively to one atom. Lewis structures are formulas in which atomic symbols represent nuclei and inertial electrons. Dot pairs or dashes between 2 atomic symbols represent electron pairs in covalent bonds, and dots adjacent to only on atomic symbols represent unpaired electrons. A structural formula indicates the kind, number, arrangement, and bonds, but not the unshared electron pairs of the atoms in a molecule. FF and CC are both structural formulas. A single bond is a covalent bond in which 1 pair of electrons is shared between 2 atoms. Some atoms can share multiple pairs of electrons. A double bond is a covalent bond in which 2 pairs of electrons are shared between 2 atoms. A triple bond is a covalent bond in which 3 pairs of electrons are shared between 2 atoms. Double and triple bonds are referred to as multiple bonds. Hybrid bonds are shown by resonance structures. Resonance refers to bonding in molecules or ions that cannot be correctly represented by a single Lewis structure. A double arrow is put between a molecule's resonance structures to indicate resonance. Some compounds are networks of bonded atoms.